Hey guys, Wrestling Throwdown here. I'm Haley, and I'm here again with Michael Miner, and we are going to talk about Smackdown. Joe, I wanted to do this with Joe too, but Joe has not messaged me back, and I waited like 2 hours. So sorry, Joe, if you want to do this. I seen he watched it, and I kind of wanted him to do this with me today because me and him have such great chemistry when we talk, and people like us to argue with each other. So I kind of wanted him on here too, but oh well. Michael Miner's great, so we get to listen to him fight with me.
Mhm.
Alrighty. SmackDown. I didn't really think it was that great. I actually just got done watching it like 30 minutes ago. I don't really watch it live. Well, it's not live anyways, but I don't watch it, right when it comes on. I just record it, and then so I can fast forward commercials and stuff like that. Um, there was really nothing too big to watch. I mean, some of the matches were good, but some of them were just kind of like set up pretty much for, storyline purposes. Kind of like the Bo Dallas thing but yeah. Other than that, though, really nothing to it. But like I said, I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it's SmackDown's obviously it used to be so good back in the day, like even in like 2005 and stuff like that. It was really good when I was like watching in my prime years, my teens and stuff. It was actually really good. I don't know why it's just gotten kind of bad. I guess it's because they used to split brands up obviously back then, and they had like John Cena on there, and they actually had people who actually, that's when John Cena, obviously people like John Cena, but now they put them both together, and then SmackDown, not even everyone's on SmackDown because they still don't have the people, most of the people on Raw and everything. So it's just, and then they're hurting because pretty much, I wanted to talk about this too. I actually just read an article about how WWE has been hurting this past month or two. And I agree because it's just like they have no one. Like Daniel Bryan's gone right now. Batista left. Um, Dean Ambrose is filming a movie right now. Brock Lesnar's not even there half the time. I mean, it's just like what I think they needed to do. This was a really good time for them to like bring up Sami Zayn, maybe Tyler Breeze and Adrian Neville. Even though I really don't think Adrian Neville's really, I don't know how well they would work with him. But I still think that it would be better because then they would have some people, and then you can get some storylines started and actually have people, and then you can actually, WWE could assign some more people and bring them up to the more NXT people. So I don't know. I just feel, and like this would have been a good time to bring up Charlotte too. So I don't know. It's just, I mean, Dean's coming back, so that's good. And I actually heard Daniel Bryan's not even getting surgery anymore, and he could possibly be back Survivor Series or Royal Rumble. So he'll be back pretty soon. But John Cena, he might be gone, but I'm sure people don't care about that. So the ratings will be great without him there. I'm not trying to be mean, but I think people would rather see him gone. But um, so pretty much everyone's going to be. I think the Brock Lesnar thing, he's supposed to be full time, but it's pretty much like what he's going to be is pay-per-views, um, the day after the pay-per-view, and maybe the going home show. That's about it. That's really all he's going to be there for, and Paul Heyman's pretty much going to be there every week talking for him and pretty much talking to the opponent he has. Speaking of that, I get into, well, Michael Miner, I'll hear your thoughts first. What did you think about SmackDown?
SmackDown, just not really the original way it was back in. I know you watched it in 2005, but I got into it when they first started in 1999 when it was real good. I had some really good matches. A lot of bringing a lot of stars from the Raw and brand and all that kind of stuff. They had like freaking separate brands. I had a draft for each one. I started to like that stuff until now going into this stuff. I mean, SmackDown was somewhat good, but some of the matches were just horrible to watch, and so yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of just, I don't know. I mean, I started watching wrestling late, as you guys know. I didn't watch till 2000 and it was 2002 or 2003. My first episode I watched was when Triple H came back from quad injury. That was his first time, coming
Oh,
back,
2002.
Yeah, 2002.
I remember that one.
So I was 9 years old at that time. So, or I was just turning 9. I might have been 8. But I mean, most people I talked to, they watched wrestling, started watching wrestling when they were 4. So I was still a bit of a girly girl in my younger years. But so that's probably why my attention span wasn't, I guess, big enough for wrestling yet. Because my brother tried it with me at 6 and I didn't like it, and then he tried it with me 3 years ago after, and then I loved it. So I don't know what the deal with that was. But yeah, so I kind of watched a little bit later. I still know my stuff though. It's not like I never watched, the Attitude Era or anything like that. I have watched that back still, but anyways, speaking of Brock Lesnar, this is supposed to be his next opponent is Big Show, and obviously Big Show and Mark Henry and the Usos have their first, what was it, a 8-man tag match versus Goldust, Stardust, and the Wyatt family. Now, this was kind of an interesting match. I don't know why they're having the Wyatt family feud with Big Show and Mark Henry. It's kind of, I guess because they're all 4 big guys, and that's like the only people that can, I guess, match up to Big Show and Mark Henry. I'm not really sure what's up with that. But I would have rather seen Luke Harper and Eric Rowan really beat the Usos for the title, so I really wish they would have done that. But it looks like they're going to go, obviously, with Goldust and Stardust, which could be good because, obviously, they turned them heel, and they're probably going to split up. So, I do want to mention a couple of things. Jey Uso was fine, obviously. He's fine now. I thought they were actually going to let him, like, kayfabe heel until, obviously, Night of Champions, but because they said he was going to be ready for Night of Champions, but I guess they're going to just let him be ready a week early. I don't know. So he's fine now. He's off the crutches and everything like that, so he's fine. And Bray Wyatt was with the Wyatts at ringside. I thought this was kind of interesting because for the past, I'd say like 2 or 3 months, actually, when the Wyatts had a match, just like Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, they've been alone. Like, Bray Wyatt has not came out with him. They've been coming out during his matches, but he really hasn't been coming out for their matches. And I thought that was kind of interesting that he was out there tonight with their match. So, because me and Joe were kind of talking about when they were going to split up and everything. But it looks like they might still be strong if he's now continuing. I don't know if maybe he'll continue to start coming out during their matches. I'm not really sure what's up with that, but I don't know. The baby faces won, obviously. Big Show, Mark Henry, and the Usos. Got them all looking strong for, obviously, Night of Champions. Got Mark Henry looking strong in the Usos. Big Show doesn't have a match, so obviously. But the Usos are obviously going to look strong and come out on top. And, I mean, Goldust and Stardust are still looking strong, too, but they're not really looking strong against the Usos that much because the Usos are still picking up victories against them. But Goldust and Stardust have been on a winning streak, too. So they both look strong, but I still think that Goldust and Stardust are going to win. But I'm going to do a prediction show this week, so I'll give you my opinions on that. What did you think about this match?
The 8-man tag was really good. Seeing Bray Wyatt out there for Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. But to me, I had to say, I think I just can't wait for Night of Champions to see how the Usos and Goldust and Stardust are going to do.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in that. I mean, the Usos are a great tag team, but they really haven't done too much with them until now. I mean, they finally just got them. This is like their first real storyline that they actually put them in. Yeah, they had matches with, the Wyatt family, but they didn't really make a storyline with that. This is actually, they made a storyline because, they have, oh, you hurt my brother, and now, we need revenge and stuff, and then they turned them heel in the process, obviously, Goldust and Stardust. So they actually have something going here. And that's what they used to do with the tag team division, obviously. They used to have storylines going on. And it's just kind of been like blah now. I mean, the Usos, it's just like everyone was so excited when they won the tag team titles. And then they didn't really have any matches. They didn't really defend their titles except for when they had, obviously Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, and then now Stardust and Goldust. Other than that, though, I mean, I think for 2 or 3 months they didn't have one title defense. And I thought that was ridiculous. And it's just, they don't do this with just them, though. They do this with every tag team division now. And it's just ridiculous. You know, because you want the tag team division used to be so good. I mean, they used to have Batista and Rey Mysterio and Edge and Chris Benoit. And I mean, like, the great tag teams that, I mean, these were like main event guys. And it's just, they were just, and the Hardys and Team 3D and everything. And it's just the Dudley Boys. Well, I guess you can call them the Dudley Boys now. But Team 3D, obviously, for TNA. But I mean, they had all these great, and Edge and Christian, and they had all these great tag teams and everything like that. And now it's just kind of like they have some good tag teams, like the Usos is a good tag team, the Ascension's a good tag team. And then they just... It's just like you get people excited, you know, when they win, and actually, you know, oh my God, like the Usos, people have wanted them to have the titles for a while, and when they got them, it's just like they didn't do anything with them. So I really hope they continue with this and just do something. Like if they are going to give Goldust and Stardust the titles, you know, do something with them, make them be cocky, do something, give them a storyline, something, give them something to make them look prestigious and actually show them on TV defending their title. I mean, it's just ridiculous how they do this stuff. I mean, Minor, don't you agree with me that the tag team division is just kind of going down under? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think that the tag team division is just going way straight downhill with this, and I think it's about time they just boost it up and bring in the Ascension.
Yeah, exactly. But that's pretty much all I got to say about that. And Big Show and Mark Henry, you already know Joe's opinions on those two. But yeah, I don't know what they're really going to do with him. I guess they're just going to still have them continue. I mean, Mark Henry's feuding with Rusev too at the same time, but they're also kind of feuding still with the Wyatts, so I don't know what's going to go on with that. And Big Show's obviously, rumor is that's the Brock Lesnar's next, you know, I guess opponent for the title, which I think is kind of ridiculous. I mean, I love Big Show and everything like that, but it's just like, it's just like they have to make it look like they have to get these big guys, halfway decent big guys, so they don't look like so deadly towards, you know, Brock Lesnar, and it's just, so that's why I think this whole thing is a mess to have Brock Lesnar keep until WrestleMania, but it'll also make Roman obviously look strong, and it'll make Seth look strong in the process if they do what they're supposed to do. But, I mean, this can change any single month. I mean, they could just all of a sudden, like at Survivor Series, be like, oh, you know what, we don't really want Brock Lesnar to just keep the title. We're going to give it to someone else. I mean, this could just change randomly, so who knows. Anyways, enough about that. Authority backstage. Kane, Seth, and Randy, they're just pretty much talking about Monday and how great Monday was and how much of a success it was. And Seth talks about how, you know, oh, I told you guys I can get inside Roman's head and I know I can deal with him and everything like that. You know, I trained him and everything like that, you know, pretty much because he says he was the leader of the Shield. And he says they will finish off Roman tonight. And Randy says that he will destroy Y2J. And then Kane says, because that's best for business. Kane, I don't even know what to do about him. He's not wrestling. He's not doing anything. I mean, the only thing he's really that they're putting him into is obviously for Seth's little, I guess he's Seth's buddy now, I guess. I don't know. He's pretty much, you know, doing stuff for Seth now, and he's kind of like his backup if Seth needs him and stuff like that. I don't know. That's pretty much where I'm getting from Kane. It's just, he's another guy that they just, like, they don't know what to do with him, so they're just going to put him as, like, I don't even know. It's just ridiculous. Because they keep switching him on and off. Like, first they turned him into the Monster, and I thought he was amazing when him and Daniel Bryan were tag team champions. I really liked them at that time, but I don't know. It's just he has the mask, and then he goes back into the Authority, and then he gets out of the Authority, and then he gets back into the Authority. It's just, I don't even know. I don't even know what they're going to do with him. If he's going to end up turning on them at the end, I don't think so. It seems like I feel like Kane's actually going to retire in the Authority. I feel like these are his last final stages, and I think that after the Authority's done, whenever it does get done, I don't know if this is going to be like another year from now or 6 months from now. I don't know how long this is still going to go on. But I think this is pretty much the end for Kane, because what are they going to do after the Authority leaves? Are they just going to make him a wrestler again? I mean, the guy is getting up in age, so they can't just keep changing him and switching him. It's just not going to work. That's the thing that they do with Big Show, too. They turn him face, they turn him heel. They turn him face, they turn him heel. And he's usually face and heel at least 3 times in a year. They switch him 3 times a year. So it's ridiculous. I don't even know what to say about that. But what are your opinions on Kane? Do you think it's just kind of ridiculous that they keep switching him and changing him every 5 seconds?
It's just getting ridiculous with him. They're switching him into the Demon Kane, and he goes back to Corporate Kane. He goes back to this. I'd rather watch the cheap thing that they got for on the WWE YouTube, where they have the Malibu Kane to the Surfer Kane to all these other Kanes that were on this little cartoon that they had. But to me, I just hope he just stays with the one character only.
Yeah, I feel like this might be the end for him. I feel like after the Authority, especially if the Authority is still going to be there for like another year or two, I definitely see him retiring after the Authority, like maybe getting fired and then leaving, kind of like what Vicky did. She asked for request time, so they turned it into a storyline. But yeah. Okay, Bo Dallas versus Justin Gabriel. Bo Dallas pretty much talks about how he does the hand over your heart thing again, and does the believe thing, and Zeb stops him, and then he says, no, you're doing it wrong, blah, 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 and they do the We the People. And, of course, Bo Dallas wins. Now, Justin Gabriel, wasn't he heel? Wasn't he supposed to be heel? Is like, what's going on with that? Is, like, he only face on the main roster, and then he's heel on NXT? Like, what's up with that? I don't even know. Like, I haven't really even seen him on NXT, though. I haven't really seen him with Tyson Kidd for a while, and I really was a fan of that. I really liked that with him and Tyson Kidd being a heel tag team. I really enjoyed that. I actually wish they would have done something with that, but I don't even know. I guess they didn't like that, and now they're putting him back as a face. It really doesn't matter because he's a jobber, so it really doesn't matter if he's face or heel. They just throw him in to make people beat him, pretty much. I mean, as mean as that sounds. I actually thought, though, it would have been better with him and Tyson, because then they would have been able to maybe be NXT Tag Team Champions, because at least they're doing something with Tyson Kidd in NXT. I mean, people are saying, that they, really screwed up Tyson, and I do think they screwed up Tyson, but you know what? I'd rather him be on NXT forever and be treated right than go to the main roster and not be treated right. It's kind of like you got to pick your battle. It's just like I'd rather be at the lower brand and be treated right than be at the upper, and But yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with Justin Gabriel right now. I don't know if he's face, heel, if they just killed that whole thing with him and Tyson Kidd or what. I don't know. I haven't seen him on NXT lately, so who the hell knows. Bo Dallas wins though, and Jack Swagger runs in, attacks him, and Bo leaves the ring, and that's that. I don't think that they're having a match at Night of Champions. If they do, it's probably going to be on the pre-show, which I think is kind of stupid. I think they needed to put the Rusev and Mark Henry thing on the pre-show. I'm way more into the Bo Dallas and Jack Swagger thing, especially if Zeb Coulter turns, on Jack Swagger. I think they need to put this on the main show then, because I don't think there's ever been a heel turn or a face turn or anything big like that on the pre-show before. So if they're gonna end up turning Zeb Coulter, give him to back heel and back with Bo Dallas, I think they need to have this on the main show, or pull it off for another month. I guess they can do that too and not have it at Night of Champions, because their card is actually pretty full right now. And I don't think they're going to have this match because they just added 2 new matches. The Randy Orton versus Chris Jericho and Roman Reigns versus Seth. So they just added, and then plus every title is on the line. So, I mean, I think that they're going to, and then Mark Henry and Racist. So, I think that they're pretty booked up with matches. I don't think they're going to have this unless they have it, like I said, on the pre-show, or they put something like that on the pre-show. One of these matches is going to be on the pre-show, obviously, but I don't know. It's just, I don't think that, I think they're going to pull it off for another month. But what do you think about this whole feud?
I think so too. I think to me this feud between Bo Dallas and Jack Swagger, I mean, it's getting good, but I think they need to either put them, either if they don't get put in Night of Champions on the pre-show, I think they might save it till like at least the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. They might put them on the pre-show there for Hell in a Cell. I would just like to see what's going to happen with these two.
The thing is if they put them on the pre-show, then Zeb shouldn't turn on Jack, because I don't know. I think that this is not like this is going to be a huge turn. I mean, it's going to be I can see it coming. I've seen it coming from a mile away. I know it's eventually going to happen, but I mean, I don't know. It's just like not like it's a huge turn or anything like that, that it needs to be obviously the main event. I mean, it doesn't need to be the main event. I'm not saying that. But I do think that, because a lot of people don't watch the pre-show. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like if you really want to make an impact and stuff, you need to put it on the main show. But that's just my opinion. And if they can't do that, wait till the next pay-per-view to put it on the main show. But yeah, that's pretty much my opinion on that. Next, Paige versus Summer Rae. And AJ Lee's on commentary again. Paige beats Summer with the Black Widow, AJ's move. And Layla comes in. I don't know. It looked like maybe she was going to attack Paige. I don't know, or if she was just going to yell at her in her face, whatever. Whatever she was going to do, AJ obviously did not like that, and she attacked her and did the Paige turner on her. And Paige yells at AJ. She gets mad and says, "That's not funny. Don't copy my move," and everything like that. And they just get into it, and AJ just smiles and skips around the ring and leaves. And that's pretty much that. These two are entertaining. They really are. I do think it would be a joke, though, to have AJ win the title back. I mean, I'll give my opinions on the prediction show more thorough, but I'll just talk about this for 5 seconds. It would just be a joke, because I really don't want to see the Divas title being flip-flopped every single month. It would just make no sense. Paige is ready. Paige can control the Divas division now. She needed a little bit of help. AJ gave it to her. AJ came back and she helped her, and they had a great feud and everything like that. And I'm not saying that this needs to be the end of their feud, because Nikki's in this match too, obviously. I swear to God, if they give Nikki the title, that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that they're gonna actually give her the title. I'm extremely worried about that. I hope they don't. I don't think they might. I don't think they will, because Brie will obviously distract her and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paige needs to win this. Paige is ready now. She's fine. She's good. And AJ's saying that she wants to leave anyways and start a family with CM Punk. So it's all set and done there. Paige is ready. AJ helped her, and we're ready for Charlotte to move up now too. So, mine are your thoughts?
I think so too. I mean, I think it's about time they start bringing Charlotte. I could see Paige winning the title match at Night of Champions, and I can see, like you said, Nikki Bella's going to somewhat interfere in the match and distract
Brie.
Brie. Sorry, I don't get those two Bella's names wrong. But yeah, I've seen Brie come in and distract her sister, trying to maybe pull her out and throw her up against something and try to distract her from the match. I mean, I could see Paige winning it, and I think sometime at Hell in a Cell it's going to be Brie Bella and Nikki Bella at Hell in a Cell.
See, that's the funny thing too. I did read on this, and I heard that they're waiting as long as possible to have these two fight. Like, they're going to drag it out, I guess. I don't know if they're going to drag it out until Royal Rumble, or I don't know. But they're going to try and drag this feud out as long as possible, and maybe have them in, tag team matches, and obviously, because they're having a tag team match, I think, on Raw with Brie and AJ versus Paige and Nikki. But they're going to have, I guess they're trying to wait as long as possible for them to have a single match together. So I don't know if they're going to just add more to this feud, get more dirt on Brie, or, to prove that Nikki's the victim or whatever. I don't know, or if their family's going to show up, if their brother's going to turn on Brie or something like that and help Nikki. Who knows? They're going to try and add as much as they can, though, to this feud before they actually have a match, though. That is what the rumor is. So I don't know when they're going to have this match. I don't know if it's going to be, Royal Rumble, or who knows? They could drag this all the way out until WrestleMania. I hope they don't. But, I guess if they really want to work on it, if they actually have like a really good storyline going, and if they actually bring some good dirt and stuff like that, maybe get Daniel Bryan involved in it too, and John Cena, like if they could get both of them involved in this could be decent, and it could be, but they got to do it right. They got to get these people involved. They got to get, Daniel Bryan and John Cena involved. And obviously, hopefully if John Cena turns heel by this time, obviously we can all pray. But it would be really good though, because then Nikki Bella's obviously heel and stuff like that. They could really make this work. But that's all I'm saying here. But who knows? Okay, Mark Henry versus Rusev, and this was the arm wrestling contest. Lana says that she's surprised that Henry accepted and everything like that, and he needs to just forfeit and quit. And Mark Henry says he's not going to do that. And she dedicates the match to Vladimir, the Russian president. And Mark Henry wins. And then Lana says that she wants a rematch with the left hands, with them both using their left hands. Mark Henry almost wins again, and then she throws powder in his face. And then, obviously, Rusev attacks him and kicks him in the face and lays him out, and obviously Rusev looks strong again. And that's pretty much that. I do see Rusev winning. I don't see Mark Henry winning. Obviously, if they really want Rusev to look strong and everything like that, Mark Henry's not the right one to beat his undefeated streak. Especially when he's, on the verge of probably retiring in the next few years and stuff like that. I think that, they can definitely find someone better, like a young star and everything like that. Someone that people would really love seeing defeat his undefeated streak. That's why I thought Jack Swagger was so perfect for that, because it would have been, the people were behind him, he was with Seb and everything like that, but obviously they didn't want that to happen. So, but what are your thoughts?
My thoughts on this match, to me it didn't even look like a match, just an arm wrestling match.
Yeah, it was an arm wrestling match.
We did a little funny thing on our show last night. We named Mark Henry White Mark Henry because, as you know, Lana threw some white powder in his face, so he might have been called the White Mark Henry because he got hit with powder in the face. So his whole face looks all pure white. Should have went a little more to the face there. She could have grabbed a little more big handful and just right in his face. White Mark Henry. But yeah, to me, I could see. Yeah. I mean, I could see Rusev winning this at Night of Champions to boost him more up. But yeah, I think he's going to win this match no matter what. If they make him lose, then what? What are they going to do with him?
Exactly. I'm sure they will kill him eventually, just like they did with Umaga and everything like that. But yeah, and Chris Masters, they always kill people like that. Oh, the beautiful Renee Young interviews Y2J. Y2J says that he accepts that he lost to Bray Wyatt, so obviously they're done with that, obviously. Because obviously they just made a match, and he is still having another match. So they're actually going to pull this 1 week feud with Randy Orton. I thought this was ridiculous, and I thought they didn't need to do this. I think it would have just been better to have Chris Jericho just be done, and then have Randy Orton be in a handicap match with Roman, but that's whatever. But he says that he doesn't like that he was attacked and that Randy will never be the same again after Night of Champions. That's pretty much the gist of that. I do think it's ridiculous that they made this feud. Like, this could be a really good match. Obviously, Chris Jericho and Randy Orton, they're both great wrestlers. But it's just like I wish they would have done something a little bit more with this feud. I think it was a last-minute decision, and they're like, well, you know what? We really don't want to have another match with Bray Wyatt. We really don't want to pull this out any longer. And they're just like, and we kind of want Seth to fight with Roman, and you know what? We're just gonna have him face Randy at the last second. Like, I don't even know what the heck they were thinking, but it was just ridiculous. That's all I gotta say. Minor, what are your thoughts on this match? Don't you think it's kind of stupid that they did this at the last minute when this could have been a good match?
Yeah. Yeah, to me, I think
it still will be a good match, but I mean, they could have done something more with the feud.
yeah, they could have done a little more with the feud stuff. I mean, seeing that those two will be in matches, I mean, like, oh boy, here we go. To me, I could see Roman Reigns and Seth in their match, but Chris Jericho and Randy, there was nothing to prove that those two will be facing each other. Oh, just a little thing that happened last week on Raw, but with the Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns thing,
that was so random too. It was just so random.
Yeah.
I guess the whole gist of this is what Randy said pretty much. He said that Chris Jericho, I guess this is what started their whole feud, and this is what they're going to build this on, which is so stupid because they should have done this way before, and he should have already talked about this before. But I think it was 2 weeks ago on Raw when Chris Jericho was doing his highlight reel. He said that Randy Orton didn't get anything. He didn't earn anything. He was given everything to him. That's pretty much what started this whole thing. Randy Orton wants to prove that he worked hard for everything that he got pretty much, and he worked for everything, and he didn't just earn. He earned everything. He didn't just get it handed to him. That's pretty much what this feud, I'm guessing, is based on. That's what Randy Orton bring up anyways today. And the back with Seth and Randy, so who knows? I don't know. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. The Miz and Damian Sandow versus Dolph Ziggler and R-Truth. R-Truth, we haven't seen R-Truth in a while.
Can we just say the word R Ziggler?
Yeah, R Ziggler.
Pretty much.
R Ziggler.
I think the night I called
Mizdow. Okay, sorry. The Miz and Mizdow versus Dolph Ziggler and R Ziggler. All right, there you go. Are you happy now? All right, so R Ziggler was dressed like Dolph Ziggler. Obviously, they had their little he was his stunt double, I guess, because obviously the Miz has a stunt double now, and so obviously the baby faces win. Dolph Ziggler. And that's pretty much that. It just pretty much gets them. It makes Miz still look strong because obviously they pinned Mizdow instead of Damian Sandow, but they pinned him, and so it still makes them Miz look strong. I still think Dolph's gonna win this, but at Night of Champions. But they're best friends, so they've been kind of having. It's kind of getting interesting, Like I kind of like how they're actually paying attention to the Intercontinental title. They need to, Ever since Dolph Ziggler won it, even actually ever since Miz won it, pretty much they've actually been pretty much. Even though Miz won it cheaply, he's still, but yeah, I'm actually really into this. Because they're best friends. They always say that best friends do it best, and they totally do. So it gives the title something to talk about, and gives the title, a little bit of, What do you think about this, Minor?
I think so too. I think I can see Dolph Ziggler, but to me, I have pretty much my Survivor Series match set up for the titles for the U.S. and the Intercontinental. I've already got it all set, ready to go. I just hope it goes all put into plan.
Oh, you think they're gonna combine the titles at Survivor Series?
Because I can see Dolph winning the match. The night after Night of Champions, Bad News Barrett comes back, beats up the Miz and say, you know what, Dolph, I want a match with you at Hell in the Cell pay-per-view. Then that goes into Hell in the Cell. Bad News Barrett wins the Intercontinental title, and then at Survivor Series, it's going to be Sheamus. Or actually, I don't want Sheamus win. I want to see Cesaro win, and see Cesaro and Bad News Barrett at Survivor Series. The winner gets to combine the belts. And then, I'd say after Survivor Series, I can see Bad News Barrett winning and be like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of this garbage U.S. title belt and this Intercontinental Championship. Welcome the European title. They got to bring that back.
That's actually interesting. I actually really like that. That's actually a really interesting.
Because you're gonna have two Europeans going at it. You're gonna have an UK versus Sweden. And there you go. You got like a World Cup kind of game to it.
Yeah, that actually could be a really good match too. I do kind of like that. They actually also said, I probably should mention this. They're going to try and put. I don't know if they're still going to do it. I don't know if they're going to make this a triple threat match at the very last minute or what. Or they're going to just have him come out and attack Dolph and then have Dolph versus. They're actually thinking of not doing the U.S., but have him go after the Intercontinental and feud with Dolph Ziggler, Bray Wyatt. That's the rumors. That's what I've been reading lately, which is interesting. Because they've been talking about Sheamus for a while and everything like that, but I think it would actually be better if Rusev and Sheamus fought for the U.S. and they left, that alone. And then I could definitely like to see Dolph Ziggler versus Bray Wyatt, though, for the title. I don't know if they're actually going to make this a triple threat at the last minute, like if he's going to come out Monday and they're just going to go nuts and they're just going to do this the last second, or if he's just going to, after Night of Champions, he's going to come out and attack Dolph Ziggler and, set that up for Hell in a Cell. But that is the rumors that Bray Wyatt is supposed to feud with Dolph Ziggler next. So we'll see what the hell how that happens. I don't know. Nikki Bella being interviewed in the back. She pretty much talks about how it's been a rough week and that the fans seen that she was the victim and everything like that. And she says that it was Bree's fault that Jerry Springer was on a stretcher, got pulled off on a stretcher. And she said that she really shouldn't be upset about this. She should focus on her Divas title match. And that she says that that's the only thing that's, like, keeping her up and everything like that, because she says, like, she's so excited for that. And AJ Lee interrupts her and calls her lapdog, which was hilarious. And Paige comes back there and she says that she's going to beat AJ Lee again, and then they can finally become best friends, and that she loves her and everything like that. She calls her Pumpkin, and that's pretty much that. And Nikki sees, and then AJ makes some kind of growling noise. I don't know what that was. She makes like a bark at the end. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
And Nikki pretty much talks about, she also calls Nikki Brie. Paige calls Nikki Brie. That was pretty funny. But the thing is Nikki said, obviously, at the end, she's seen that Brie and AJ were fighting, and she says this could be easy. So she thinks she has this in the bag. That's pretty much that, though. I don't know, it's setting up for looking like Nikki's going to win, because those two are going to be too into each other, like Paige and AJ. And Nikki's going to probably act like she has this in the bag, and then Brie's probably going to come out. But that's pretty much that, pretty much what we said before. But that's all I have to really say about that. Minor, do you want to say anything else about this?
The backstage segment with them, I mean, sitting there, seeing AJ and frickin' Paige calling each other peepsy poo. I'm like, oh God, please stop. Don't do that
I don't
stuff.
know. I think they're very entertaining when they do
Go to a little
that
kid's
stuff.
school and do that smoochy poo and all that stuff.
I don't know. I think it's really entertaining that they act like they love each other and they're best friends. I don't know. I find it entertaining, but that's just my opinion. Chris Jericho and Roman Reigns, this is the main event, versus Seth Rollins and Randy Orton. And, of course, the babyfaces win. That's pretty much that. Seth obviously looks strong still, and so does Roman Reigns. They weren't in this match. They were in this match, but they weren't, like, in the pinfall. And Chris Jericho, he just pins Randy Orton up with a roll-up. So Randy Orton still technically looks strong, because, obviously, Chris didn't really get he didn't really pin him, like he didn't really, do his move and everything like that. So I think all four of these guys still look strong going into their matches at Night of Champions. I do think it's kind of ridiculous. I do like the Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins match. I'm into that. For Dean Ambrose, though, I don't know if he's going to actually show up at Night of Champions. They do have him for Raw, definitely the day after. They do have him returning for the day after. But I'm not sure if he's going to return at Night of Champions because he's going to be done filming the day before Night of Champions. That's going to be his last day filming. I mean, I could see if it was a handicap match he would return, but since it's a one-on-one, unless Kane comes out, if Kane comes out, then I definitely can see Dean coming back. Only if Kane comes out, though. And actually, that's a really big possibility that Kane's going to come out and help him anyways. So I can definitely see Dean still returning at Night of Champions. If not, though, he's going to return in a week anyways. I'm excited, though. I miss him. It's not the same without him. But I can't wait to see his movie, too. Are you going to watch this movie, Michael Matter?
Yeah, I think so too. I want to check out his movie.
Yeah, I want to see his acting. He's crazy. I'm sure he can do that great. He's just amazing at everything. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Like I said, though, wrestling, they really, once they get Dean Ambrose back, and once, next week should be good because they'll have Brock Lesnar, and too bad if they had Dean too back next week, it would be really good. But yeah, they're having Brock next week though, so it should be good. Hopefully next Monday. Let's pray that it is. But once they get Daniel Bryan back too, it should be good. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Any last closing thoughts? The match was actually good too. I forgot to say about the match. The match was good. But any last closing thoughts, Mike Commander?
Yeah. To me, the match was really good. For Smackdown, the main event, but I just don't want to see what the go home show is going to be tomorrow next week on Raw. See what the go home show is going to look like before Night of Champions, and see if maybe if we're going to get a fight tonight between Brock and Cena, or we'll find out and see what it's going to look like next week.
Yep, definitely. Yep, I hope they do something good with John Cena and Brock Lesnar this week. Paul Heyman's been amazing. And John Cena's promo was really good too, so hopefully they do something with that. They need to make it look good. And Vince, I guess Vince is really wanting, Vince McMahon, he really wants John Cena to actually look, good during this match. And I agree, because I don't want to see another squash match. I mean, I don't want John Cena to win or anything like that, but he doesn't need to be destroyed like that. I mean, it needs to be a good match. It needs to be a good back-and-forth match with Brock Lesnar winning, because then I think more people will enjoy that, because then they can say, oh, you got better, but he still couldn't beat him, and then he'll be done with Brock Lesnar. And who knows if he's going to have another feud, or if he's going to do the whole, oh, I'm injured and I need to do surgery, which he needs to do because he is injured, and his injuries are getting worse because he keeps wrestling while he's injured, like usual. Oh, John Cena. But yeah, hopefully he gets out of that whole thing. But alright guys, that's it for now. Don't forget to thumbs up this video. Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to Michael Myers' channel, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter, and don't forget to join our group on Facebook if this is the first time you're watching this and you like what you see. Positive feedback or even negative feedback is very much appreciated. It's always good to know what I need to work on. And you guys have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next one.